I'm Hunter Smith.
And I'm Mary Morgan Smith, and we live in Birmingham, Alabama, and we're parents to our 3-year-old little boy named Walker. When Walker was born in June of 2021, really right from the get-go, we kind of knew something wasn't totally normal. He came a couple weeks early, and he was just really small. And that loud newborn cry that everyone tells you to listen for, he just didn't have it. So immediately, a ton of specialists rushed in the room and were trying to figure out what's going on and checking his vitals, checking his breathing.
Obviously, we've never been through this before, and we're expecting this to be one of the happiest days of our lives. And we're kind of at a point there where we're not even sure if Walker's going to make it. And that was obviously particularly scary for us. And no one really prepares you for that. So Walker ultimately spent several days in the NICU right after he was born, and we were told everything's fine, he just needs some time to develop, he needs some time to grow, and everything will kind of sort itself out. Well, fast forward a couple months, and Walker's breathing was still really labored. Things were not really improving, and that kind of led us to talk to the doctors a little bit more, and he ended up having surgery just 8 weeks old to try and open up his airway.
After receiving surgery, Walker's ability to eat really started to decline, and we ended up back at Children's for a couple weeks, and he ended up getting an NG tube placed. And he just continued to struggle developmentally. He was pretty delayed in all of his milestones. And so over the next year, we met with geneticists and did some testing, and we found out that he had a disorder called Wiedemann-Steiner syndrome. Wiedemann-Steiner syndrome, also known as WSS, has a variety of symptoms and levels of severity. In general, it causes low muscle tone, developmental delay, a lot of feeding difficulties, short stature, and certain distinct facial features. Based on the research that's available, only about 1,000 people have been diagnosed with WSS.
So for us, there were a lot of mixed emotions that came with that diagnosis. I mean, for one, it was just a sense of relief. We had kind of gone back and forth for really an entire year trying to figure out what was causing Walker to have the difficulties that he was having. And we'd even asked ourselves a number of times, are we doing something wrong? And so getting that diagnosis gave us a lot of clarity to know, we've got a hard road ahead of us, but we have an answer that we can move forward with. Then on the other hand, receiving a diagnosis of any kind can be an incredibly lonely feeling. There were a lot of unanswered questions for us even after getting the diagnosis. What is Walker's life going to look like in 5 years and 20 years? What is our life as his parents going to look like in 5 years or in 20 years? So there's a lot of isolation that came with that, and back to the fact that WSS is a really rare genetic disorder. There's even an isolation in that not a lot of people share Walker's specific diagnosis. Then we've also just felt the isolation that the day-to-day hardships of disability parenting can bring. As followers of Christ, there's a few particular things that we've done our best to hold on to. One of those being that Walker is utterly unique, and he's fearfully and wonderfully made by his Creator who loves him perfectly, that God's grace is sufficient for us. His power is made perfect in our weakness. And this one I'm actually borrowing from our pastor, but just like the Lord has ends, he has means. We knew that we were going to need people to come alongside us in this journey to teach us, to teach Walker, to give us the encouragement that we needed to keep pressing on.
The Bell Center has without a doubt stepped in to fill that need. The Bell Center is dedicated to maximizing the potential of children who are at risk for developmental delays from birth to 3 years. They provide interdisciplinary services such as special education, physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. For us, the opportunity for Walker to receive so many of these services in one place was a huge blessing. The therapists, the teachers, the volunteers, everyone he's gotten to work with there has been so wonderful and so knowledgeable. Honestly, from the time Walker started going to the Bell Center to now, he has improved so much in his movements, his communication, his ability to eat, and even socialize.
Yay!
And those are ways we weren't really sure he would ever grow.
Go, Walker. Go, Walker.
On top of that, the Bell Center has been such a great place for us to build community. We've really enjoyed getting to know all of the other families there. And while Walker's disorder is less common, we have found so much shared hardship and joy just between all the different families there. Of course, you're rooting for your own child to grow and learn and succeed, but we've also found ourselves really rooting for other kids too and their parents, which has just been really fun.
So this November, I have the opportunity to run the New York City Marathon to raise money for the Bell Center in honor of Walker. It's obviously an experience I'm really excited about, but more than just being excited about the marathon, it's also an opportunity for me and for us to say, Walker, you've faced all of these challenges over the last 3 years and you faced them head on, and this is a way for us to participate in that with them, even if it's in a really small way. And beyond that, it's also a way for us to say thank you to all of the incredible people that have worked with him at the Bell Center, that have worked with us. So we're really excited to be able to give back, even if it's in just a small way. We would be so honored if you would consider giving to the Bell Center on Walker's behalf to help them continue doing the amazing work that they're already doing. We, again, just want to say thank you for your support of Walker, thank you for your support of our family, and thank you for your support of the Bell Center.